CBK has reopened their Treasury Bond or the paper which was issued in March this year. Today, I'd like us to go through the prospectus and understand the salient features in the prospectus. Look at what we need to be looking out for as you make a decision on to whether to invest in that paper or not. But first, I'm going to request you to please press the subscribe button and like the video, okay? Prospectus for reopened 10-year Treasury bonds. It's reopened. It's not a new paper, okay? It's not a new Treasury bond being sold. It had already been sold earlier. Now it's being sold with those same terms and conditions which it was sold at the first time it was being issued. FXD1 2024-10 refers to the specific bond which has been reopened. Had it been a new paper, then that will have been the code for that specific bond. All right. Dated 6th May 2024, that makes reference to the date when you will be making your payment to CBK rather, should you decide to invest in this paper. The total value of 25 billion is in reference to how much in total the government is expecting to collect from this specific issue or from this specific bond which has been reopened. Tenor, 9.9 years. Now you might be wondering, why did we say a 10-year paper and now here the tenor is 9.9 years and not 10 years? It is because the paper was first issued in March this year, and now this one is validated May. So the time lapse between March and May is what has been catered for or accommodated in the 9.9 years. All right. If this same paper will be issued next year March, that is 12 months later, it will be issued as a 9 years tenor. The maturity date remains constant. It doesn't change. Period of sale. Before period of sale, we have coupon rates, 16%. Now, the first time this paper was issued, the accepted bids were accepted at 16%. That was the auction price. Now that it has been reopened, it's being reopened with the same terms and conditions of the previous paper. Same terms being the same coupon rate, same maturity date, same interest payment dates. All right, from when it was initially issued. We have the price, discounted or premium or par. Par means if you're buying worth 100,000, you pay 100,000. Discounted means if you're buying worth 100,000, you could pay less, maybe say 99,000, 97,000. And premium means if you're buying worth 100,000, you could pay slightly more. CBK will guide us on whether it's discounted or premium. Minimum amount 50,000 shillings. This is the least amount. If you want to invest in this paper, this is the least, or any other bonds for that matter. The least amount you'll be investing is 50,000 shillings. Thereafter, any other additional investments must be in multiples of 50,000 shillings. Interest payment dates. We have 23rd September, 24th March, 22nd September next year, 23rd March next year, and so on and so forth. And we have the last interest payment date being 13th March 2034. Now you may ask, why is the interest payment for this month on 23rd September and the interest payment for 2033 on 12th? Why the difference in dates? I'll tell you why. Coupon is paid semi-annually. Not really semi-annually to the dot, but it's paid every 182 days. And we know the year has 365 days. So if you're paying every 182 days, it means that in a year, you will be paying every 364 days. So there's going to be 1 day extra that remains in the year. So come next year, when you pay 182 days from the previous payment, the days are going to be moving forward. In fact, if the paper was longer, you'll get to a point where the coupon is paid even on 1st of September. So coupon payment, in as much as yes, it is semi-annually, it is paid every 182 days. After every 182 days, you get your coupon payments. That is what will explain the difference in the dates. Why is it 23rd September and then it ends at 12th September? Okay. Taxation. The bond is subject to a 10% tax. This is an important place to look at because there are certain bonds like IFBs which are not taxed. They are tax exempt, they are tax free. We also have other treasury bonds which are taxed at 16%. So you need to look at the paper, at this tax, the tax amount, and you determine or you decide for yourself if you'd wish for your coupon to be subjected to tax. If you're after or if you're chasing high returns or income, then you may wish to wait for an IFB which is tax free. Okay. However, there are several reasons which will make you want to take this paper even though it is being taxed, and there are other treasury bonds which are tax free. Okay, some of the reasons will depend with your financial goals or your investment goals. For instance, if you aim at laddering your bonds, then it might be difficult to find a treasury bond being auctioned each and every month or every 6 months, such that you are able to find a coupon payment every month of the year. To fill the gaps where you'll not be having the infrastructure bonds or the IFBs, you may want to go for the treasury bonds, even though you know that it's going to be taxed. All right, good. Redemption date 13th March 2034. That's the last day of this bond. That's the maturity date of this bond. That is the day when you get to receive your principal together with your last coupon. So if whatever amount you invested, you'll be getting everything on that day. Competitive bonds, competitive bid, 2 million. What does that mean? It means that you can only put a competitive bid when you're investing 2 million and above. A competitive bid is a bid where you dictate or you put the interest amount or the coupon rate that you'd wish for CBK to pay you. Now, the risk of putting a coupon rate or the risk of competitive bidding is that you risk losing out on that paper. Should you put a slightly higher rate than CBK is wishing to accept, your bid will be declined. Okay? So my advice is that if you're a retail investor, if you're bidding less than 2 million, even if I was to bid 2 million or 3 million, I would let my bid be non-competitive so that CBK can pay me the average coupon rate that other investors are being paid at. Okay? Bids closure. This makes reference to the last day and time for bidding. The bids closure for this specific issue will be on 2nd May at 10 a.m. So if you're interested in investing in this paper, make sure that you place your bid not later than 10 a.m. on 2nd May. If you happen to try to place your bid at 11 a.m. for instance, or even the next day, you will not find this paper on auction. You will not find it. You'll not find it on the bid section of your DAO CSD account, meaning you'll not be able to place that bid. So make sure you keep time, make up your mind. If you want to buy this paper, always look at the bid's closure date and time and make sure that you place your bid before the cutoff time. Auction date refers to the day of the bid's closure also. It's actually the day when CBK reviews the bids which it has received and makes a decision whether to accept or not and at what rate it's going to accept the bids, especially for the new auctions and for competitive bidders. All right. Results will be released on 3rd May. Now, if you placed your bid for this paper on 3rd May, 1 day later, when the results are out, you can now go into your DAO CSD at the transaction tab and see whether your bid was accepted or not. Or you can look at the bids tab also and you'll see your bid will have changed to successful. Now, if your bid is successful, CBK will send you an SMS notification and a Gmail notification to the account, to your Gmail account and phone number, which you linked to your DAO CSD account. You also need to first have activated those notifications on your DAO so that whenever there's a transaction, you can be sent notifications by CBK. Now, CBK will also communicate to you on SMS, on email, and even in your DAO account, DAO CSD account, how much you need to pay. Remember, this paper is being reissued. Now, you may want to ask, if I'm investing 100,000 shillings, why then does CBK need to communicate to me how much I need to pay? I'll tell you the answer. I'd like you to assume that you had invested in this paper or had bought this bond the first time when it was issued in March. Okay? And me, instead of buying it in March, I waited. I didn't have money then, or I wasn't keen on buying it. Yeah. So I didn't buy it back in March when you are buying it. I'm buying it now in May. Your investment has been accruing interest since March. I have been holding my money. Okay? Come September of this year, if you had invested 100,000 shillings, CBK will pay you 7,200 shillings come September of this year. If I'm investing 100,000 shillings in May, CBK will also pay me 7,200 shillings in May. So why are you who invested in March being paid the same amount as me who is investing now? That is why I told you there is a discounted, premium, and par. You bought it at par. I am going to buy it at a premium. In as much as I'm investing 100,000 shillings, I'm going to pay slightly more. Now, how much is the slightly more will be communicated to me by CBK. And why am I paying slightly more? I'm paying slightly more to accommodate the interest duration from March, the previous coupon payment date, up to May, the duration when I was still holding on to my 100,000 shillings, while you had already given CBK your 100,000 shillings to utilize towards its budgetary expenses, and I was holding on to my money. So it's not right that you and me earn the same amount come September. Now, the premium that I pay in May is just but an adjustment, like I have said, an adjustment for the lapsed interest period. And how much is going to be the premium, CBK will communicate to you the amount to pay, okay? The next is payment details. Payment details refers to the transaction of you remitting the money to CBK, your actual investment. What is the information that you're going to indicate in your RTGS, what's going to be a reference number as you remit your funds to CBK? When you check your DAO CSD account, you will see an 8-digit alphanumeric number, which you will be using as your reference number as you send your money to CBK. That same 8-digit alphanumeric number will also be sent to you to your SMS account, via SMS, and to your email address. Even the amount that you need to pay will also be communicated to you, okay? That's basically it. Those are actually the most important things that you need to understand on the board.